Fuck!
I guess.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Diamonds and Dice. Me and my friends get together and toss some dice around, do stupid stuff, and have fun stories. Welcome back, Josh. Glad you could make it this time.
Thank you.
I know you're helping move, and that's super important. Family is the most important thing, so totes understand. However, in the story, we're just going to jump right into it and jump right into the rough. Are we all ready?
No. I'm not emotionally prepared for this. Oops, that's not what I
I don't think you are either. This one's going to be a rough one.
want.
So, we're going to go ahead and start with Kalima.
Oh, lovely.
Kalima, you start to gain consciousness. You notice that there has been a potato sack placed around your head. You can't see very much. You feel some rough hands grab you and move over here. Sit down on your knees. They throw you down on your knees. Your hands are down. Your feet are bound. The potato sack is pulled off your head. You notice that there's a couple guys gambling in the corner. So they're playing cards, a couple enforcers. And there's a line of other people just like you in some way, shape, and form. You can tell that they're all casters. You look over to the first one and they move a stump in front of him. They grab his hands in his manacles, place it in front, and they take a very big hammer, swing it around, and smash it on both hands.
Oh.
When the guy's screaming and his mouth's open, they stick a little fork in his tongue, or they stick a little tongue in his tongue and pull his tongue, and then you see them take a little knife and they just sink and clip it off. They take it and they throw it into a little bowl. You see the guys sitting there in the corner just playing cards, calm as can be. The line is excruciating as they sit there and smash the hands of every spellcaster so they can't do somatic components. And they take out their tongues so they can't do verbal components.
Oh my god.
And then it gets to you. They don't start with your hands this time, though. They sit there and they start fumbling in your mouth with the tongs, and you feel your tongue get grabbed, and they start to yank it out. You sit there and look at the guy. He's got a big scar across his face, an enforcer that you swear worked for the Skull Anvils at one point. And he just smiles real big with his missing teeth on the top. All the teeth on the bottom, just missing on the top. He gets a great big smile as he takes the knife and puts it to your tongue. Tirth.
Listening.
As Tirth comes to consciousness, of course you're in a jail cell, tied up. There's a bunch of people sitting there looking at you. And you notice they're all casters. There is a foreman, essentially an enforcer, that's sitting there looking at you, and he goes, "Fucking sloppy's what you are. You ready for your punishment?"
Tirth will just look at him and be like, "You gotta do what you gotta do."
Excuse me, sorry.
He nods. He says, "We'll strike a pose. Make sure it's a pretty one, okay?" They stare at you.
He stands up.
Spellcaster after spellcaster casts spells on you until you are finally petrified. You actually see the last few moments are like scales coming across your eyes before coalescing into actual stone. Kalima, you're brought forth to a very familiar bridge. The lava is hot, burning.
Do I still have my tongue?
It's rank with sulfur. It stinks with sulfur. You notice a couple of enforcers are standing there with a giant box about 7 foot tall, 3 feet wide by 3 feet wide. And as they're all standing there, and you're sitting there with your hands bound, you sit there and you look and you see as they as the man known as Alazio walks forward towards the brink. As every bit of courage inside you gets ready to like maybe push and kick him off and end this whole thing, you see they cast a wall of force behind him. He goes to the edge of the bridge where it all went down, takes a few of the rocks and puts them in his hands, and you hear him say, Alazio misses you so much, Kalima. Or, sorry, so much, Valeria. Insert Mandy's character. He misses you so much, Zalaria. And he throws some of the rocks into the lava, and it starts to boil and burn away and melt. He stands up, they drop the wall of force, and he walks over, and he takes the box and he pats it. And he says, I will miss you. Alazio will miss you greatly. As they start tearing the box, you see a very familiar-looking hatboard, but made in stone. The men labor to push the rock to the edge until they drop it in the lava. You see it burn away, and even though it's rock, it cannot stand against lava as you watch it wash away into a black ichor, and then finally nothing.
Are you fucking serious?
So, Egede. Haley. You guys go back to where the Silver Sabers meet. This particular time, it's a rooftop. It's very calm. The snow has stopped. There's no sleet. There's no wind. It's easy going. And just that cool, brisk air breezes across your face, chilling your face to the bone as you huddle a little bit closer in the warmer clothing that you have. Every person who's dressed themselves as a Silver Saber stands before you. Some of them bloodied from the battle before. You see skull anvils there. You see Vorag there. You see Grenwald and all of his men as well. As everyone stands here bravely on the roof.
We gotta find where they took them.
Grenwald clears his throat and says, That we should do. Guaranteed. The problem is, I'm pretty sure you all fought your way out pretty recently. I don't think they're going to put them in jail. And you hear Borg clears his throat and his one single eye looking down as he looks up, and he's got that hollow, empty second eye. And he says, Unfortunately, as much as I love Bartholomew and your new Kalima was an awfully nice gal, at least for the brief moment that we got a chance to acquaint. And by that I mean from watching you all from afar. I think you have to write them off as dead. I think we need a plan. And I think we all need to do it.
Where would they be?
Shrugs his shoulders. I know that if I was him, first thing I'd do is I'd put a bullet in their head and just be done with it.
Yeah. We already let Alazio leave, and if they did anything to them, then he's gotta fucking pay.
Well, revenge is definitely something I think you're all about, darling. And I think I'm on board and willing to die for that particular fact. However, me personally, I don't see there being anything good coming from it. I think we need to focus and let the dead lie. But that's just a personal effect.
Well, then what in the fuck do you expect us to do? What is your plan, Borg?
My plan is to sit here and give myself everything that I can for you all. My plan is that in some single way, shape, or form, you have some kind of plan to take on Alazio and all of the situation and end it for her.
Have you ever known me to have a, let alone follow a plan?
Well, of course, I could come up with it if you want, all on your own. And if you want, when you're done, I'll wipe your ass for you, too.
Out of character, my flaw is literally, if there's a plan, I'll forget it. Yeah.
Teresa, he looks over at Egina and he's like, perhaps you have a more level head for this, because he shrugs.
While I agree with you that Bartholomew and Kalima are very likely dead, I do not think it's right to make assumptions right off the bat. We do have a man on the inside. His name is Sam, and he said he was going to get back to us with where they were taking them. I believe it would be wise to wait for that information, and if there is hope that they are still alive, is an avenue we should pursue. Because Bartholomew and Kalima are very valuable resources that can help in our fight against Alazio. My intentions are not on revenge. I do believe Alazio is a tyrant that needs to be taken down. Not for my sake, but for the sake of everyone in Dathersport.
I just happen to agree. He sighs real deep and he says, so we wait. We wait for some kind of information on this Sam that you asked about.
I can try something else.
Is there anything you'd like to do in the meantime as far as that's concerned? Maybe, plan on tearing his heart out? Tearing out Alazio's heart?
Information can you give us about Alazio, what he's capable of? He fights, where he might be.
Well, honestly speaking, I can't tell you very much about anywhere he could be. I'm guessing he's either at the governor's mansion or trying to find his way back up to the Elven City. And unless they've been able to reroute all the support units, I doubt that they're able to do that. There's always a chance, though. I mean, enough of our men have turned and started working as enforcers, they can certainly slip back into being blacksmiths. So he's either there, or he's in his home, where he's nice and protected. But my sources have told me nothing of it. We can't get close enough to either one. It's too many troops, too many enforcers, and too many constables. There's too much law going on in our city these days.
Perhaps it would be wise to try and hinder him from getting to the Elven City in the first place. We should target those elevators. Whether or not he's there.
We dealt them an awful blow, but they're under protection. It will cost a lot of men, and I'm okay with doing that. But we're dwindling pretty much as it is, so make sure that where you spend these troops is where it needs to go. He says, if that's your decision, then we'll do it.
Where would you recommend?
He says it's a toss-up between a direct assault on his home, and I think, considering it's going to take a lot to make sure that the vertical train is back to working, I'm willing to bet that that's where he's at. But I can't guarantee it either. That he'd be in his home, where he's nice and protected. There's troops in either direction, so it's a 50-50, but if I had my guess, I know I'd go home and recoup until it was safe.
Why did he come back down? We let him go.
He tried to go out of character. He tried to go back up, or he tried to go up.
Oh yeah, but they blew it up. Never mind.
Yeah, but
Sorry, it's been a week.
And he tried to blow it up.
Yeah. Anywho, I'm gonna use sending, and I'm gonna send a message to Samuel.
Okay.
Because I'm tired of waiting. I
Sure.
don't want to play the waiting game. We need to get shit going, and we need to do shit now.
Okay. What does your message say?
So, in my message, I'm going to say, been waiting for a response. I know it's not as easy for you, but have you heard anything? Where are they at? We need to know now.
And he can respond to it?
Yeah, he can respond.
He's going to respond with, "Oh dear God, they called me! Please help me!" and silence.
Joy.
Vorg will walk over to you. What did you find out?
Well, they just killed him.
Good help these days. So he'll turn and he'll look at the remainders, or you two, and he says, "So you're the remainders of." And about that time, you guys hear the door open, or sorry, the roof door open, and you hear the mechanical workings of Omega as he starts to walk out. Everyone draws guns on him immediately until they see who he is, and they stop and they pull their hammers back. Well, isn't this refreshing? Thank God we've got a little bit more help.
I just look around the room and I say, well, what I missed? I've been gone for a minute.
What can happen in a minute, son? Come join us.
I pull up a chair.
He lets you know the situation, that Kalima and Tirtholomew have been captured and are likely dead. He brings Egida and Haley can tell you that they teleported ahead and found Alazio was getting ready to go to the Elven City in a newly constructed, essentially elevator train mix, that they fought as hard as they could to wither their way into it and get close to Alazio, but in the end, it started to fire up. Luckily, most of the Skull Anvils and the Shankhill Slaughters had shown up, and the machine was sabotaged, keeping Alazio here on Earth, or sorry, here on the ground level.
Okay.
Last thing you remember is you went around. Your party had a shadow dragon, and you fired off a couple of shots from your flashy gun that had just gotten recharged with the solar power, and you had seen that although you helped kill the dragon, a shadow dragon had killed Zelaria. You've heard tale of Zalaria's body being pretty much kidnapped and then discarded in some lava before everything was said and done. So I hope that catch you up a whole bunch, son. Egida and Haley have filled you in as much as they can, and I've told you everything from my point of view as well.
Okay. I just kind of slink my head down on my hand.
So you three are the newest of the Godslayers, but you have to carry everything that they have on. You have to fight for what they used to represent to Dathersport. He says, "You have me," and Grenwald says, "You have me." And all the people sit there and stand tall, and the head of the Silver Sabers, a portly-looking man in a Silver Saber costume, says, "You have me as well."
And you have my sword. And you have my bow. And
Hey,
you have
Zach.
my axe.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah?
Out of character, what does it mean when I have expertise in a skill?
If you have expertise in a skill,
Yeah.
let me take a peek at your character sheet, double check. So I'm pretty
I have
sure.
I believe
Expertise in
expertise means
perception
you
and
get your
stealth.
proficiency plus half your proficiency.
Yes. Let me double check that though.
Because instead of getting another level in fighter, I went with a level in rogue.
Oh yeah, that's definitely what it means. But you're Rogue 2 and you get that? Nice.
I'm rogue 1.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it should be proficiency bonus and a half. It should be auto-calculated, luckily.
Sweet.
So Vorg looks at you all and he says, "So, like I said, you're the newest members of the Godslayers. You got some big shoes to fill, but I can't just make every decision for myself."
Well, our two options are to either go after Alazio's estate or the vertical trains. Let's say we went after him in his estate. Who's to say he won't get away while we're trying to get through security? I say we go after the vertical trains because that seals off his way of escape.
He nods.
But they're going to be crawling with enforcers as well.
I can say that as far as it is the escape route, is there anything maybe you can do to make that not a thing?
I mean, didn't you guys damage it? We could try and destroy it completely, but we might need a very, very large boom for that.
Well,
What about the technicians? The people who build the machines?
well, they
Who did them?
most of them are defectors from the Skull Anvils. A couple of them are bloodbathers and know how to use the machinery, the magitech involved in it.
Is there any way you may be able to persuade them not to?
So you're saying two-prong attack. That we deal with that in one particular direction by paying the people to be slower and maybe sabotage a little bit more. Is that what you're saying?
I'm wondering if we could get them to halt progress entirely.
I'm pretty sure that the only person that can do that is Schwatha. I'm pretty sure she's not on your good list.
Says we have to go
Have a conversation.
up the chain at all. Why not confront these technicians directly?
Sneak in, start dealing with the technicians on the off-site. What are you going to do?
I
Threaten them?
wonder if Harathon might be able to do something.
She doesn't have any control over zoning, but she is a powerhouse to some degree.
I'm gonna be right back, guys.
Threatening isn't exactly in my domain, but I do believe it's a tactic that could be employed well here. I would suggest you and your men approach these technicians in their homes, off hours.
Yeah.
He nods, and he says, "What are you all going to do while I do that?" And he like waves a finger, and you see a couple people just leave. Like he's like, "Go to it."
I
Okay.
can attempt to locate either one of them. I've picked up a few things.
He says, "If that's where you want me to spend my resources, I'll spend my resources there. But that's all I've got."
Well, we need to find a way to be able to sabotage the production, halt the production if possible. Maybe Harathon has some kind of ammunition, being as she owns a mine. She might be able to provide some sort of a big boom, like I said, or be able to just have
Or restrict resources.
or restrict resources. I can attempt to scry for Terry or Bartholomew or Kalima, or even scry for Alazio.
He clears his throat and he says, "Yeah, I can attend to these things if you want." He says, "So is that where you're spending my use?"
I mean, I want your use. You would be the best as protection, to be completely honest with you. But I mean, we put our faith in Samuel, and look where it got him.
He looks over at Edgar.
I can at least attempt to find out where they are, so we don't, if we decide to go to Alazio's house and he's there, we at least know. And we would be able to better plan that way.
I don't want to confront Alazio without Bartholomew and Kalima.
So we wait. Josh, you're frozen, bro.
I mean, I can
I'm still here.
locate object isn't like a ritual or anything. or locate creature, which is the spell that I would be using. It's an action.
Hey kids, what you all doing?
Would you like me to try and scry for them? I'm asking negative.
What?
I
You
said,
broke up. I didn't hear you.
I said, would you like me to try and scry for them?
I believe
know
that
what-
would be best.
What happens when I take lead? So, all right. I'm gonna look in my little spell pouch and grab out a little tuft of fur, and I'm gonna just kind of rub it in between my fingers, and just say, "Show me the location of Bartholomew the Great."
Okay.
And then, yeah, it's a concentration spell. I'll hold it for an hour.
Um, check something real quick. You immediately sense the direction of the creature. The only problem is you start to follow it to some degree with your mind's eye, and you know that it stops as of 300 feet. You sit there and think about it, and you're like, "Shit, the cistern is within 300 feet."
The what?
The cistern, the sewer system, essentially blocks anything because of the running water.
It's within 10 feet of them.
Say it again.
If it's within 10 feet of them. Not if it blocks my path, it's if it's within 10 feet of them.
No, it's 10 feet of water blocks the creature.
Okay, Timberly, I read it wrong the first time.
That's okay. So yeah, you cast the spell and you know a general direction. It is definitely westward,
Okay.
but the water 300 feet away blocks it. So Vorg will say, "What did you find out?"
We need to get away from the water. It seems to be affecting my spell. I can hold concentration on this for up to an hour, so hopefully we can get there, but it's kind of directing me in the direction of west.
So we hunt them down. Anything else you
Let's
want?
head in that direction.
We
Do you
need to
want me
get
to-
some people to try and halt production on the way out as well while we're doing this kind of multitask.
Okay.
If you have anybody that's willing to try out
To what?
to help us out, to try and help us out.
He nods and he says, "I'll do everything I can do, but you all gonna be here?" And the Silver Sabers all shake their head yes, and most of the other people will. And he's like, "All right, don't get caught or anything. And you five, accompany them." The journey's not too difficult, going back down off the rooftop. Sneaking across the city's a little tougher now that there's curfew.
Man, that hat of disguise would be super.
A few seconds later, as you guys go, it's been a couple minutes. You guys see that there's a person staggering in the street wearing white cloth over the top of whatever they're wearing. It looks like blood is sprayed all across the neck and the hands.
Do I recognize this person?
Not from this distance, you don't.
I want to try and get as close as I can, not cause attention, draw attention. I want to try and see if I see who this person is.
Through your dark vision, you get closer, you start to notice the features under the cloak. There's blood all across her mouth. You look, though, and you can see that when she flashes her head upwards, you see Kalima.
Okay. So she's alive? She's alive?
Are you asking the DM if she's
Yes, I'm asking if she's alive, if I'm seeing if she's alive or not.
I'm giving you no answer except she's walking.
I will walk up to Kalima and make sure she's okay. See what the fuck is going on.
Kalima, what do you say?
Sorry, I've been Googling really weird things to try and figure out what I'm doing. She'd look at Haley and her eyes are wide. She's, got a lot of pain going on, and she'd reach for her and she'd go to say, Haley, they killed him.
And you can say that.
Oh, sweet. So, she'll stagger towards Haley, and she'll be like, Haley, they killed him.
So I'm going to pause you all real quick. As luck would have it, back to Kalima about a couple hours earlier. As they pull her tongue with the tongs, and they sit there, and the guy takes the dagger and puts the sharp blade up against it, cutting it just a little bit. You hear, bang! There's a bunch of coins that get spilled from the guys playing cards. One guy stands up and he says, you cheated, you did, you cheated, and I'm sick and tired of it. And he pulls out his gun, and you hear it fire off as the other guy grabs it. The guy that's holding Kalima's tongue stops and turns around. What are you all about now? Stop it! There's a big tussle. Kalima's sitting there panicking, sweating, all tied up and everything else. You look down at your hands, not smashed. You see the wood sit before you to smash your hands. You look to your right, and you see the person's panicking, and just the white of their eyes is just shaking anime style. They're just freaking out. You look to your left, and you see a person who looks up at you through the cowl, and is just a beautiful golden color, like a beautiful golden made woman. And she smiles at you, and she sits there with her bleeding mouth, and she spits, and it hits you in the face, and it goes everywhere. And you're like, what the? As you're sitting there, like, thinking to yourself, that's gross. She takes her 2 broken bits of hands, and she slaps your hands over and over again until it looks like they're bloody as shit.
Oh my god.
She sits there, and she gives you a small wink, and then goes back to looking down. The guys turn around after the main guy sits there and takes his knife and starts shanking the one guy. 20, 21, just keeps shanking him over and over again, and then he picks up some of the coins and looks. You see a brief second where the coin has a slightly interesting look to it, something familiar, and he puts it in his pocket, and he goes over to you, and he goes, now, where was I? And he sees your face, and he looks at the next one, he's like, open your mouth. And he grabs her tongue and pulls it out and just cuts it across.
Okay, I was literally Googling if you could hum and whistle without a tongue. Oh my god!
So, meanwhile, back to the task at hand. You were saying they killed him. Please continue.
Sorry, my brother is just like, what the fuck? But yeah, she'll okay. So she'll go up to Haley and like reach and grab her, and like it's almost like Kalima's like trying to see if you're real. She's a little traumatized. Actually, she's really traumatized.
I'll like pat her on the back and try and calm her down a little bit.
Yeah, and she just keeps saying they killed him, they killed him, they killed him. Not that fast, but she's.
Well, where did you come from? I can feel him. We're going there.
And she'll kind of think and be like, where did I come from? And she's just gonna shake her head and be like, they threw him into the lava.
Well, if they threw him in the lava, I wouldn't be able to feel him. There wouldn't be a body to feel, so it can't be him.
And she's just
like I said, the direction put you 300 feet and stopped.
Haley doesn't understand that, though, out of character.
No, that's cool. It could be too.
I'm kind of shocked because she's finding out that her friend is dead, and she's determined that the spell is working, essentially.
Kalima's just gonna look really confused and shake her head a little bit, and she's just like, but Alazio put him in the lava.
Where's Alazio now? Where'd
We
he come from?
we were on the bridge, and he came, and then he left. That's all Kalima would know, right? Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And Kalima's gonna kind of shake her head, and she's like, I really want to curse him. I haven't cursed anybody in years, but I really want to curse him.
I just want to kill him.
And she'll kind of, I had the word, now I can't remember what it was, but, she's kind of calmed down a little bit, and she's like, well, where are you going?
We were going west. That's where my spell was taking me to Turf.
And she'll kind of nod, and she's like, I don't think we'll find him, but it's better than nothing, I suppose.
I mean, it's the best that I've come up with so far. Nobody else needs to know what they want to do. Though out of character, yes, I do know that there was a solid plan. We have some of Warwick's guys on taking care of trying to stall production to the transporter because they were able to destroy it before, keeping him from leaving. Egg and I were right there, but we showed him mercy and we let him go. We tried to do the right thing. How can he do this to us?
I've seen a lot of people change due to grief. It's not always for the best. This is, however, some of the worst I've seen. But we should focus on trying to find Tirth first. I doubt we'll have any luck finding Alazio at this point.
Probably got all kinds of things around.
Okay. You guys
What does
follow
Agatha
the.
think? What does Agatha think? She's looking to make sure that.
Agree.
Okay, we'll continue to go west. Follow my spell.
Once you pass the the cistern, you sit there and you look and you're like, okay. You cross across that. You feel strong feelings. You find yourself to a very familiar bridge with lava flowing underneath. It's taken you guys several hours to get there. You guys sit there and you look over into the edge of the lava, and you feel your ping is directly downward.
Can I see where it's pinging at? I mean,
You
if
can't
it's pinging
see,
on
you just feel.
okay. If it's pinging on something, then he might not be dead. Because
Looking at straight
the
lava.
lava could have, huh?
Yeah, you're pinging towards straight lava.
How far down?
Feel it about, I'd say, 30 feet down.
Kalima will kind of like peer over the edge a little bit, and she's like, this is where they pushed him in. He was stone. But they pushed him in, and ow.
Well, if I'm feeling something, then the stone must not have been damaged. Because I'm assuming that if, lava would dissolve the stone, had it actually killed him, and he wouldn't be there to be able to be felt. Because the lava would have completely disintegrated his body. Right?
I would assume so.
My spell just wouldn't have worked if there wasn't a body.
But
I'm asking for rules clarification, Zach. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Nope. Maybe it doesn't.
Because I feel like if there was no body to be scryed upon, then it wouldn't have worked, period.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about it being dead or alive.
Yeah, but if there's no body to be scryed on,
Hey, that's a weird thing. Like I said, doesn't say anything about a body being dead or alive.
it's okay. I don't have anything that can protect me from
If
lava.
Tirth was turned to stone before thrown into the lava, there's a chance he could still be alive. Go in and try and get him.
How do you expect to do that? Do you have can you freeze yourself? Protect yourself magically?
Have my faith.
Cleve's just gonna look at him and be like, okay.
I'm going to cast protection from energy on myself to give myself resistance to fire damage.
So Egida sits there and gets ready to call on the powers of Bahamut to protect him. As he sits there and starts to charge the power of the spell, you guys hear, "If you're searching for your friend, as luck would have it," and you hear the jingling of a bunch of nails. And you look over and you see a beautiful woman made of gold. She looks almost serpentine, but not quite. Almost like a naga, but not really. Beautiful golden scales across her face. Kalima obviously recognized her instantly as the woman who had spit on her face. She sits there and she has a bag of nails in one hand and she's just chinking the nails and she's flipped the coin and catches it. And you see out of the shadows steps Tirtholomew. As luck would have it, and then I'll flash back as you guys see that Tirtholomew gets turned into stone. The people push him out and you hear he gets, you just see the journey of his body sitting there frozen in that stubborn, ready for anything position. Gets put onto a trolley, I'm trying to think of the word for it, a jack essentially with wheels. Gets wheeled into a room full of other bodies just like him.
A dolly?
Yeah.
This quick
He's really heavy as they lift him off and put him on the ground and set him down and balance him straight up. They put a tag on him with his name, Tirtholomew. And they all leave as one guy sits there and watches over all of these statues. There's hundreds of statues. About an hour passes and you see the door opens and a very well-dressed individual comes in, sits there jingling something in her right hand. He says, you hear the guy say, "Oh, you looking by a criminal? Nice piece of art you could tell all your friends about. I heard it's all the rage up in Rosetown Abbey." And you hear, "Absolutely. I've heard it's all the rage. Perhaps you have a Tirtholomew the Great." The guy clears his throat, it gets dry, and immediately looks panicked. He says, "Oh, he's not for sale. But I could pay you in lots of gold." And you see that as she extends her hand, there's tons of gold coins that seem to fall out of her sleeve. The guy goes over and starts picking them up and says, they don't look like Legion mint." He bites them. She goes, "Oh, they're much older." She's jingling something in her right hand. Doesn't sound like coins, but still sounds metallic. She holds up a single nail and flips it around in her finger and closes her hand around it. So do me that favor, would you? And the guy walks over to another half-orc and pulls the tag, switches it with Turth's, moves his to the front. It's okay. You don't tell no one about this, right? No. Nobody will learn. A few seconds later, you see an individual comes up and two of the boys go, well, it's a shame, really. Like, Gunslayers were my favorite, and Tuathalamil was my favorite, too. But, and they start looking through all the tags. And they go, here he is, Tuathalamil the Great. Looks up. He's a little ugly and a little bit short there, I thought. As he looks at a half-orc that is nowhere near Tuathalamil. They load him up and build the box around him, put him on the dolly, and move him out. That's where Kalima saw him. Just the back. As you all sit there and you look at Kalima and you look at Tuathalamil and you think you're lucky stars, you look at the individual with the gold skin and she pulls back her cloak and she says, after all, a deal's a deal. For everything that you've given me, I consider this payment rendered in full. And she just jingles her right hand and smiles.
Kalima goes over and hugs her. And
No
goes,
touch! No touch!
She'll
She
stop.
sits there and yells.
She'll stop. She'll be like, thank you.
No, it's a payment owed. But a payment in full it is. She says, I will offer you and owe you no more. Jazeera has done.
Kalima's like, I
Good
don't
luck.
know what deal it was, but thank you.
She nods. She says, as fate would have it, it looks like maybe you've balanced the scales in the past. You've lucked out. Don't fuck up again. And she jingles the right hand and she says, and she holds up a single nail and she says, because just as likely as I am to give coins. And she holds up a nail and she walks away into the shadows and she says, remember, there's always a coffin nail on the other side. And she will disappear.
Is Haley and Negata there as well? Or is this just Zalaria?
Yeah. Yeah, no, everybody's there. No, Zalaria's dead.
Kalima, sorry.
Where's
Sorry.
Tarfire?
I will get there. Anyways, I'm just gonna say nails.
There he is.
Yeah, she'll laugh a little bit as she sinks into the shadows. Good luck to you, Godslayers.
I appreciate you.
And remember, you've earned this. But it is paid. And she'll sink into the shadows and disappear. And that's where we're going to take our first break.
I considered our debt paid when she gave me the wish, but hey, I'm all for this.
That was extra special.
What's my health like? Still at one?
Okay,
Okay,
break
no,
time.
that-
We're gonna do quick. I can't talk. It's fine.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, out of character, you've done a lot of good things in the past that have saved your butts. Parachutes, things that you've banked, good deeds that you've done.
Letting
I'm
go
telling
off
you.
you.
As a warning, out of character, you're out of them. You make bad decisions now, you're fucked. I'm going to run it through to the end. You're smart. You guys have done a lot, and this is the most taxing. But I know you have what it takes. With that said and done, back in game, Godslayers. What do you do?
Kalima runs over
I'm
and
gonna
hugs
turn them.
Turf.
You
I'm
what?
going to- Go ahead, Kalima.
Kalima goes and hugs Turf, and she'll be like, I thought you were dead.
Turth is gonna reply, so did I.
Is he not petrified anymore?
Oh, no. Not petrified, free to move.
I
Haley,
still have my hand.
the mechanical hand that Tame gave you is still operational, yes.
Okay.
How does he look health-wise?
He's beat up. He's at 1 hit point. So's Kalima.
I say we go back to the Silver Sabres hideout and find out how Vorig is doing
I can
with that side of the plan, and give Bartholomew and Kalima some time to rest.
I agree. I can send him a message and let him know that we have Tirth and Kalima, and they're both alive, and that we're going to the rendezvous.
Good.
Okay. I'm gonna take out the little copper wire, kind of stick it up to my ear like I always do, and say, "By God, they're alive. We have them. They're safe. Meet us at the rendezvous as soon as possible." He can respond.
The response will say, finally some good news. Get back here. Let's figure things out.
We're on our way. I didn't respond.
Yeah.
I guess I say that out loud to everybody else and be like, well, we didn't hear that. Oh well, let's go.
Kalima will ask about the lady and stuff, but I assume that's something that can be filled in as we walk, essentially, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Toth would fill her in for sure.
Cool, because she'd be
For
very
how
curious.
if he's coherent enough to do so. But yeah, as much as he can.
Does anybody have any healing they can do immediately?
I have my lay on hands. How bad are you guys on health?
We're
They're at
both.
one hit point.
One hit point, both of us.
I can do something.
I'll give 20 points of healing to both of them with lay on hands.
Sweet.
So 20 each.
I was about to like slap Truth on the shoulder, and it's like, no, I probably shouldn't. But man, I learned this new spell. It saved your life.
Good. That's all Tirth can say right now. Like, Tirth is like utter shock right now that I'm still breathing.
And then we head to the rendezvous as stealthily and as quickly as we can. Quickly.
I would like to cast Cure Wounds on Tirth, but my internet decided to crap out, so give me just a second. We'll do it at a second level, so it'd be 2d8 plus 2.
And we're doing this as we're walking, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll, like, just pat his shoulder and he'll feel better. And if you want to roll that, you can.
You said 2d8s?
Yeah, 2d8 plus 2.
Plus 2, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Heal up.
It gave him 9. So he's at 30.
Please change your character in the.
We're not in the screen, so we.
Good point.
When it's up there, I will.
Yeah. I'll remind you before the battle. So. Chill out, Chase. You guys get back to the rendezvous point, back on the roof. You ever look as you see Thorn and Thistle is down below? You need help, left? I'm sorry. You guys see Thorn and Thistle below as you guys are real close to to Rose Alley. As you sit there in the market, the beauty of it, despite the ever perpetual darkness of your world, you're sitting there with a group of the Silver Sabers, the Shankhill Slaughterers, and the Skull Anvils. Borg walks up to you and embraces Turth and shakes Kalima's hand. Nice to meet you, darling, for the first time.
She'll nod her head and she'll be like, "It's nice to meet you too."
Turth will look at Vorig. No, I saw Vorig before we ran off. That's never mind.
Yeah.
So my utter shock of him still being alive is already past.
Wait, no, he showed up when Egida and I were at the thing, so you haven't seen him.
So I'm like looking at him like just like deer in the headlights, blinking my eyes like, you're alive? I'm alive? Let's have a beer.
He says it's awfully hard to keep the wicked down, if you know what I'm saying. He says, when I was in that fire, one of the first things I did was I took the bullet out of my eye, placed it into another unfortunate half-orc. I felt sorry for him, but I figured that way it would take the heat off. That way I could plan a little bit. Me and Nash have been working at cooking up a few things. We kept Lazio from leaving town, but I'm afraid that's where all of our energy's gone. The city looks to you, Godslayers.
Because Turth doesn't know how everything happened. He's like, how did you stop him?
That fancy train elevator thing that we've got going on with the Magitech. It's not wise to create things like that without blacksmiths, if you get my drift.
Oh, I get it 100%.
And he winks at you with his open eye, so his like empty eye socket is just sitting there all dry and open.
And I'll just kind of like lift my hand up and like just kind of like do my little finger thing that I'm like still not used to my hand. It's like, I get you.
But he says,
Is there any progress on persuading the mechanics to halt production?
he gets a big cockeyed smile and he says, well, it's a strange thing. The friends that I know that work on the thing said that it has to be delayed by about a week.
This is good news.
My influence has been spent keeping him from leaving town. I'm afraid that means I don't have very much more, but the men are keeping that thing a wreck. Every time they fix something on it, they make sure something else breaks. And Grenwald will laugh and he goes, some of those that try to make it down there too just seem to disappear, if you get my drift. He smiles real big.
I believe this seems like influence well spent. It will give us the time we need.
Davenport looks to you, Godslayers. What's your plan?
We have our numbers back. We should rest up and confront Alazio.
Are you thinking full frontal assault?
Do you think that we'll have the time to be able to rest up, or has he made any motion of trying to expedite anything?
Not much he can expedite. He's using all his resources towards defense, which is a perfectly fine plan, but doesn't give you a lot of maneuverability. Are you familiar with checkers?
With what?
Checkers.
I think I've heard of the game, yeah. I'm pretty damn intelligent.
You look at him and you're a little surprised he didn't say chess, but then you do recognize that he struggles with words on paper. And he says, sometimes you put yourself in a hole because you're being defensive. You can't move because you're trying to protect yourself. It's a good place to be, but doesn't give you a lot of maneuverability, so he's pinned in pretty good.
Turth will look at everybody and it's like, Alazio thinks I'm dead. Alazio thinks Kalima's dead.
Well, I wouldn't say dead, more of can't cast spells.
Out of character, remember, you traded your life for her protection, so her being dead is something. He knows she's not dead, but he thinks that she can't cast spells.
So Turth will tell everybody is like when we confront him, we need to make it think like we're dead until we are going to actually hit him.
Yeah, we gotta maintain.
The element of surprise will be beneficial.
Indeed,
I'll
it
ask
will.
Vorig and Grindelwald, what do the people of Dathersport think of Alazio?
Grinwald clears his throat and he goes, well, not the biggest fans of him with the restrictions, but the rich love him because it's safe. See, they're willing to put themselves in gilded cages. And then Vorig will clear his throat and he goes, it's kind of exactly the point of Dathersport is, the laws are a little bit loose, but you get the absolute best out of your freedom. He's changed Dathersport completely into the opposite. Yeah, it's safe for the rich. It's safe for those who can afford the protection. It's even safe for a couple of other schmucks that can't defend themselves, but that's not what this town was built on. But they fear him. I don't think we'll get very much.
Protest at Alazio's estate as a distraction?
I don't have any more to give you. He says, it's a lot of people standing in between you and them. How are you going to get in?
Can you get me 600 feet within it without them seeing me?
Would it be possible?
Go ahead.
He froze up.
Oh no, Landon froze.
He's like cutting in and out. We didn't hear anything you said, Landon.
And Enrico,
He's been having internet issues lately.
it's because the leprechaun magic interferes with the technology. I mean, just true story.
Dude, I thought I was dead. I thought Turth was dead.
Got you back yet?
Well, we've got. Oh, never mind.
Okay.
All the adrenaline's gone.
Uh-huh.
Can you see me now? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I can
Yep.
hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Would it be possible to stage a protest in front of Alazio's estate as a distraction?
If you think the Godslayers can convince them, yeah. Can you go rally some strangers that, he says, most of your supporters have joined the Silver Sabres, and he points over towards a bunch of them, and they're all like, they hold their cheap swords in the air, and they're ragtag, dyed silver clothing. He says,
I don't think people necessarily have to sympathize with the Godslayers, they just have to be against Alazio.
do you think you can inspire that unrest? Do you think you can somehow gather those people together and give them a flag to go under? Again, my resources are tapped, son. This is all on you. It's a good plan, though.
I
It's
only
solid.
ask about the possibility because I know there's enough people in this town that disagree with Alazio's rule. Unfortunately, I personally do not know this town well enough, so I may not be the best figurehead. Perhaps there's a more inspiring figure. Perhaps a former member of the Godslayers that I've heard so much about.
Somebody who has yet to get back in touch with me, even after numerous messages.
Maybe not him personally. but a reminder. Someone who can play the part to serve as a reminder to the people.
Everyone immediately stops and looks at all the Silver Sabers who are standing there. Who, like, some of them start to, like, flatten out their shirts and stand real tall.
I'm not sure the Silver Saber is the best identity to present. Maybe the original.
We haven't been able to get a hold of him for the longest time. I think Alazio's keeping him in the bookwork upstairs. He probably doesn't even know what's going on down here.
He does not have to be here personally. Just someone who looks like him. Dressed in his normal attire, not Silver Saber attire.
Haley, can you do something with your magic to make it look like Alazio was here? Can any of you do anything?
You mean
I
Marzio?
mean,
Yep.
I could, but I don't have the particular spells. I have heard of something that could do something like that though. It's a hat.
Gonna murder my laptop. It's fine.
So who do we give this hat to? Suddenly
We
you
need
see
to find one. If I recall, when Valerie confronted me, threatened me to take care of these guys, she was wearing one, I believe. It was a hat of disguise. Does anybody know where she is?
Well, I mean, out of character, just saying, the most immediate hat of disguise you have, you gave to Big Sally. I guess Big Sal would say that. Well, you did happen to give Big Sally that hat of disguise that you saved up so much for, so,
I actually have the spell Disguise Self.
You can only disguise one person, like yourself.
But do we need more than one person?
We just need one Marzio impersonator.
What's really funny is I think there's a foot difference in height between Marzio and Kalima.
well, Big Sal anxiously walks up and he goes, if you can cast a spell, I can do my best. I might be overweight, but I've got panache. And he pulls his sword and you see him like, the funny thing is like, his proficiency bonus represents him. He's fought Marzio on multiple occasions and he kind of understands the moves. He's a little clunky because he's overweight, but he isn't that bad at it, honestly speaking. He has a +2 to his performance.
Yeah, except Disguise Self is, as it says, on self. So Kalima would have to do it on herself.
Yeah, we need the hat of disguise.
One.
Would you be able to go back to the Godslayer's mansion and retrieve the hat of disguise from Big Sally, so that we could borrow it?
How far away is it from here?
Vorik says, I'm afraid the best way to do that we could do, but we'd have to open it up and let them take everybody. Now, they're still considered your property until you're hung, so the girls may not enjoy the time that they have as they'll be thrown in jail, but if you tell them to open them the doors, they'll take them. And I can make sure that you get that item. That is
How
something.
far away from it is here?
It's 6 city blocks
So within.
from Rose Alley.
I'd rather not risk putting more people in jail, especially our girls.
I agree completely, but if you want, I can do it, is what I'm saying.
Well, I have a way of being able to get to places relatively quickly. If we can get within close enough range of it, I could probably just go into my room. And so long as they have it, barred, then
So I suggest you do this before you have to sleep so you can save up all that arcane power for tomorrow.
yes. We'll
Also,
be-
make a note for the future that when this is over, you need to make a secret underground entrance to avoid this next time.
yes.
We do
Out
have
of
a
character, I
cellar.
did offer that. You guys didn't pay for it, but I did offer that.
No, we did. We did get multiple secret passageways.
Hold on, I have the notes. I have to find them. Give me
I
just a
was
second.
gonna say you review the notes, but I'm pretty sure that that I offered many different things, and when it came to that, nobody was like, "Hey, yeah, an escape path," and I was like, "Wow, that's strange. That's the first thing I'd do,"
Yeah, we paid for 2 secret passages.
and that's
But they're not underground escape routes. They're more like secret passages between rooms, like a game of fucking Clue or something.
bingo.
Uh,
That doesn't mean you guys can't buy it later. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's, like, in the future, let's get that.
yeah, mental note. So Vorik says, "So we get you close enough, you can go back to your room." And Haley, who's in the bathroom right now, or whose character is in the bathroom right now, will say, "Absolutely, I can do all kinds of different stuff. I'm amazing." As she expends all of her highest level spells, burning a lizard to the ground. Terry, are you still bleeding?
I don't know. It's covered so much I don't know.
I love the fact that you two are the best brother and sister ever, to where you both stick your hand in the blender at the same time.
I mean, we didn't do it at the same time. I did
It was
mine-
like 2 minutes apart.
yeah, I did mine shortly before his.
Okay. So he says, "We can get you close enough, Haley."
So, are you saying that derpiness runs in the family?
Apparently.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh yeah, my dad's done it too. So yeah. Yep. Uh-huh.
So Vorik says, "Okay, so we get you close enough, Haley, and you can teleport in, get this hat, and then we come back here and rest. That's your plan?"
That's what I would like to try and do. Who am I to follow a plan, though? You've worked with me multiple times. Usually plans don't work out as plans. So I'm expecting for the worst, hoping for the best.
He nods. He nods to a guy who puts a sack over your head, and they pick you up. "Okay, we'll do it this way. You can't dodge a plan like this, can you?"
Now, I don't like to be restrained.
"No, you're not restrained. You just have a sack over your head."
I'm like, okay. I'm hesitant as fuck.
They will take you within a couple rooftops, a little bit south towards Grenwall's territory, just to be sure that you stay away from Bloodbather territory.
Okay.
They pull the sack off your head, and you can see your home, and you see there are tons of constables hanging around your house.
Okay.
The gates are closed, and they appear to be safe. You guys pull your hood off, and they look at you and smile real big. Then
Okay.
offer you a pistol.
I gladly take the pistol. Make sure that it's loaded. Okay.
Loaded.
I'm gonna say, well, here goes nothing. I'm gonna try and hide as much as I can in the alleyway, but being as close as I can to the manor without getting attention.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna use Dimension Door and try to get to the greenhouse.
Okay. What's the range on Dimension Door?
500 feet.
You've definitely got it. You bamf into what you see as the greenhouse. It's locked up, but Dimension Door you can pop on the other side.
Okay.
As you open up this strange metaphysical energy door from nothing, and you see the other side's a greenhouse, and you walk through. You immediately look around, and you hear a bunch of rustling, and all the like plants go through.
Okay.
A few seconds later, some of the girls just come out of the woodwork wearing like jungle attire. They've stuffed leaves in their outfits.
That
They
is
just
fun.
start careening at you with makeshift weapons until they stop and almost hit you. And
It's me. It's Haley. It's Haley.
they all hug you. Oh, thank God, Haley, you're okay. And they
Yeah,
all their arms
fine.
hug you.
I don't got a lot of time. Where's the hat of disguise?
They go over and ring one of the butler bells, and you immediately see that.
Well,
Big
first
Sal-
I have to get out of the greenhouse so nobody can see me.
Well, it's locked down too. You guys paid for that, so I'll
Okay.
make sure you're 100% protected. It has the metal workings go over the greenhouse too.
Okay.
When Big Sally comes up the stairs, she has a wine bottle in one hand. It's completely empty and crushed. It looks like she's getting ready to stab someone with it. And she looks at you and she goes,
Gotta get in the morning, huh?
Haley?
Yes. Oh, we're all okay. We're all okay. We made it out. Everybody's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. I need the hat of disguise. We have a plan, kind of, I think. But we need the hat of disguise.
Yeah, she takes it off and you look and she's wearing kind of shabby clothes and she walks over and hands it to you.
How are you?
Me and the girls are handling up. She cracks her shoulders a little bit and you notice that she's like, I missed my wrench, but it's gonna be okay.
Okay. Big Sal's good too, just so you know.
She immediately starts getting like the uncontrollable tears when you say that, and she's like looks off the edge.
It's okay. It's okay. I felt that you needed to know that.
In the greenhouse, she walks over to a set of roses and picks one and hands it to you.
Okay.
She says, "Please tell him I love him and to stay alive. They've taken everything else from you all. I can't take him dying."
We will try our hardest to make sure that he is okay. But I will make sure that he gets that message.
She clears her throat ever so briefly, and you see she's like kind of like shrugging the tears off, not so much as acknowledging them to wipe them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she says, "You better protect him, Haley Stone Scar." And she says, "And keep protected yourself too."
I will. I'm trying my hardest.
So now what do you do?
Before we leave, I am going to...
Excuse me.
seeing if I have a particular spell prepared.
I hope you have another dimension door. You're spending a night here. I said, I hope you have another dimension door.
Oh, of course I have another dimension door. I'm trying to see if I want to do something beforehand. I don't have it prepared. That makes me sad. Okay. No, I was gonna go invisible. I am going to put on the hat of disguise. And I just want to look like an average Joe. Nobody really knows what Haley looks like anyways, because she hasn't been seen all that much, but they're kind of catching on to what she looks like. So,
Yeah.
hat of disguise to change the way I look. I just want to look like an average Joe. Maybe like one of the winches that I'd seen on Poor Lane one time.
Oh, yeah. So
One of
you look like...
one of Sarah's girls. So
Yeah.
I look like one of Sarah's girls, and then I say, "You guys stay tight. I'll send word when I can." Okay.
They nod.
All right. And then I will do another dimension door. Or first, I'm gonna say, I'm going to use sending to the person that was escorting me. Say I got the hat. Is the coast clear?
Sure, what? All clear.
All right. I'm not gonna look. Yeah, I'll use sending again. I'm not gonna look the same. Don't be alarmed. But I'll be there. And as soon as I finish the spell, I'm gonna use Dimension Door and pop up right next to where we were.
Okay. You dimension door back, and you sit there and you notice that one of the men is dead on the ground. And he stands there and he has a gun in his hand. It's smoking. He nods. You all right?
Yep. You good?
Did you get the hat?
Do I look the same?
Well, okay, good point.
Let's get the fuck out of here as quickly as we can. I need a rest.
He nods. All right.
I don't know where we're going. You had me in a hood.
You walk past the dead body on the ground that he had laying. You get a
Yeah,
cold chill.
I'm like not even gonna acknowledge it.
Sit there and think about all the chances that somebody paid this guy off to hurt you. You're just keeping it cold and you're watching him intently and sweating.
Yep.
But you do get back home.
All right. With that, we get back home, okay? I'm gonna cast it at a 5th level because I'm out of the normal levels. As soon as we get back home, I'm going to use sending again and say, we made it okay to Big Sally. We made it okay. I'll give you word when I can.
It was very kind of you, Amanda, to consider her. And to spend a spell on her. You can gain inspiration. Now what do the Godslayers do?
Huh?
Now what do the Godslayers do? You have your hat of disguise.
We need to rest. Turth looks at Vorig and is like, do you have a safe place for us to rest?
He says, well, it's as safe as I bet my head, but sure.
All right. We could definitely get there. That would be awesome.
He nods. He takes you to a whorehouse of ill repute. The fun part about this place is lots of the walls seem to be hollow, leading to other hidden spots underground. I figured if you needed a place with bedrooms that were hidden, this would be the place.
It should suffice. We appreciate you. Let us rest up, get our bearings, and we can come up with a plan tomorrow. You guys can try.
He nods.
After he leaves, I'm going to cast Tiny Hut as a ritual spell around us, just to give us a little bit more protection.
As you do, the weirdest thing is you have Tiny Hut. It's see-through.
Yeah.
It's like you cast it, and occasionally, like, there's a horde that busts in with a guy, and they'll like stop and look at you and look surprised as you're like all huddling into a big invisible dome together. Like,
it's like one of the tents from Harry Potter. It looks like it's little bitty, but really it's like the size of my living room.
I was just kind of like looking at you funny. They'll move out, but you can be seen, but it is a safe place for sure. It's a very good spell. You guys can all achieve a long rest.
Woohoo!
Yay! it!
Jerry used up all of my big spells. I had first, second, and then 1/6.
While we're in the tiny hut, Tirth is going to eat what rations he has, or eat a ration.
Mm-hmm.
Kalima does the same thing.
I would have only been asleep for 4 hours, so I would have liked to spend the other 4 hours that everybody else was still sleeping just hardcore studying.
Okay. Now, do you know that although you only have to sleep 8 hours to get your spell, or 4 hours to get your spells, you still have to sleep 8 hours?
Do I?
Yep, it's definitely in the rules. It does. It's not made to help people that are spellcasters. It's made to help fighters. Elven fighters can sleep for 4 hours and get everything back just fine. I'm pretty sure.
After resting this way, you gain the same benefits as a human does for 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah. Like you don't get exhausted.
I don't think it makes sense for a racial feature to only give benefits to a specific class.
Yeah, I always understood it as like you do 4 hours of meditation and it's the same exact thing as 8 hours of sleep.
Well, like for example, let me just point out that for example, a Warforged doesn't have to sleep, so that doesn't mean that they don't get the benefits.
No, it's they have to stay in a non oh god, what is the exact terminology? Anywho, for 6 hours to gain the same benefits as a human sleeping for 8. Like they have to stay in a non-functioning state.
Yeah, we'll double check it.
Okay. I mean, obviously rules is rules.
I mean, it hasn't been that way where an elf can gain it for 4 hours since first edition, Amanda. So I'm double checking, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't do it. Regardless of how long a character needs to sleep, a long rest takes 8 hours. So, although you gain the same benefits, it still takes you 8 hours to complete a long rest.
But that, to me, that doesn't sound like you sleep for 8 hours. It's more of like you rest. So it could be eating, drinking, and then some sleep.
Right. Doesn't apply to being exhausted, but to get a long rest, you still need 4 hours, or you still need 8 hours. No.
It still can contain of me reading anyways, so.
You still have to spend the 8 hours, but you can spend 6 of those hours doing something light, essentially.
Yeah, so me studying is still a doable thing to maintain a long rest.
Gotcha.
Ow. But for no more than 2 hours. So I guess I would have slept for 6 hours, and then 2 hours I would have done the study. Okay.
So you guys go ahead and chill out and do that resting thing. And wake up the next day. Might be. Go ahead.
So Kalima's gonna kind of do a similar thing like how Haley did, where she slept for 6 hours, but instead of studying, she will do her usual sort of meditation and confer with the spirits. And normally she talks with them, sees what problems she can solve, but this time she's actually trying to figure out more information about Alazio and his movements.
Okay. Make me a persuasion check.
Hold on, I gotta get my calculator. So, it's a 23.
23. So basically focusing on things that you can gain from your haunted background and everything else. Concentrating the spirits seem to come to you that there has been a lot of unjust deaths coming through. A lot of clear-cut laws that basically get in the way. A lot of people hung for political reasons and things like that.
So,
Gain that kind of an insight to it.
gotcha. So she essentially gains the feel of spirits wanting revenge.
Oh, yeah. And mostly against the establishment itself.
So not just Alazio.
Right, more against the whole thing, the whole structure it stands for at this current point in time.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. You guys go ahead and gain a long rest. Let's take a quick cigarette break real quick. And see what you guys are up to. All right, we're back. So a long night's rest. Everyone gets done. Wake up, everyone can pop their field rations because no one's cooking food this time around, so eliminate one of those from your list. The whole group's sitting there, and
What about mine and Turth's gear?
Yeah, that was my next question.
they do procure for you very similar gear. For you have all your gear as well.
Okay.
Cool.
Vorig mentions that he bought it at a high price, but it doesn't matter. Just free Gather Sport. So, as everyone gets their field rations done and everything else, Vorig comes out of his room with a couple of girls that walk off, and he walks over to you and says, "So, this is it."
Big Sal, are you ready to put on a show?
You know it. He walks over and offers his hand for the hat.
I have it.
Put it in his hand.
I said I don't have it.
He walks over and Big Sal offers up his hand.
For the hat of disguise.
I give it to him.
He
I
puts it on.
missed the plan. I was dealing with other things. I'm sorry.
That's okay. He puts it on. He concentrates for a little bit, and then after enough time is spent, he takes it and he tucks it down over his face. And you look at him when his eyes go up, and it looks almost like a picturesque, too perfect version of Marzio, but it certainly will pass.
No such thing.
His eyes shine just a little bit more than a human's eye, or than a half-elf eyes should. there's no flaw where like Marzio may have had a small scar here or there. Like there's
No, he didn't. Marzio was perfection.
his package looks, a decent size. He sits there and looks at you and he says, "How do I look?"
Like a beacon of inspiration for the people of this city.
He nods.
Gareth will just be like, "You look like Marzio."
One of the guys comes over and says, "I'd be more than happy to talk on your behalf." And he nods and he says, "Good, because let's get this straight. I don't speak as pretty as he does. I'll just stand there and look pretty. We'll gather the people. We'll establish a protest. That's the plan?"
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we can get in close enough. And
How do you plan on getting in once we get the protest going?
While you are rallying the people, we are going to inspect the grounds and see if we can figure out a pattern in the patrols to see if there's a gap that we can slide in.
He nods.
What
It's a
about
sound plan, Megiddo.
what about using the Underdark? I mean, Elazio's men clearly knew how to navigate through that, which isn't normally an easy feat.
Would you be able to get us in?
I can get one other person in.
We're not doing that again.
I doubt they'd have a back door that leads straight into their new palace.
I mean, that's possible. I can navigate the Underdark, but I don't know where all of the doors go to. There's a lot of them, and
Well, now that I've rested, I've been able to, kind of go through what things I could do. And I know Kalima has Disguise Self, and I have Disguise Self as well. So I've been able to rearrange my spell book. So we can look different, at the very least. We can cause a room, distract Egida and Bartholomew to get in. But, I mean, distractions don't always work. I really wish that Bartholomew would probably be better to wear the hat as Marzio. And then he could take off the hat as Marzio. Bartholomew was all sky. It's a surprise.
wouldn't that be a big
Well, I can
slap in the
cast this-
face?
I can cast Disguise Self. Kalima can cast Disguise Self. Can Haley cast Disguise Self?
Yeah, like I said, I rearranged my spellbook so that I could. I was able to rest and be able to go through my readings and everything. Yeah.
So it's possible that Tirth could use the hat to look like Marzio, and the rest of us could cast Disguise Self to look like constables and just walk right in.
I know that Big Sal was dead set on wearing the hat, but that
But
also
it keeps-
protects you from being on the front lines. And I'm sorry, but Big Sally, she kind of scares me, and she made sure to make sure that I protect you.
That's one hell of a woman.
And I would hate to, get back to her with bad news about you. So, I mean, but... God damn
I
it.
feel this is-
Haley shouldn't come up with plans, but that's a pretty damn good plan.
It is a good plan.
Tirth will look at Big Sal and be like, "We appreciate you willing to do this for us, but I'm not going to put you in harm's way if we can prevent it."
He nods. He's like, so,
If you can still rally troops, rally people to make a distraction, but not be there yourself?
Or just not you wearing the hat.
Him not. I don't, he doesn't-
Once we're in, a distraction would be useful to try and pull some resources away from our target.
Yes. Maybe causing a fire on the other end of the store, or of the house, or
I believe a protest is still a feasible thing.
the protest it's got to happen because that's the only way we're going to draw attention elsewhere away from us. Once they realize that we're disguised.
And I'm sorry, Egada, I know that you try to take things down with little force as possible and not trying to kill people, but these people have tried to kill us numerous times, and I think that all full force is meant to be taken at this point. I've played nice.
No, I understand. We just need to be in the best position to do so.
I agree.
It's not just you that Alazio has wronged. There are a lot of angry spirits when his name comes up, so it would probably do some good for him to no longer be around.
Well, we need to get this plan into motion. Can the Silver Sabers rally the people?
They all seem to nod, and a couple of them say, "Oi!"
Is Bartholomew ready to best Marzio impersonation?
Turth is not ready for this Marzio.
Or Bartholomew could be one of the constables, and Egada could go with Marzio.
I don't know Marzio well enough to impersonate him.
Shit. Turth saying shit. Shit. Okay. It's now or never. We gotta go. Turth will put the hat on, and he'll give everybody a wink, and tap it.
Instant charisma score of 20. Boom. Impersonating Marzio with a hat of disguise, instant buff every single time.
Oh gosh.
You can say no, Zach, but you'd be wrong. So I mean, whatever.
My
Yeah,
rolls
yeah.
are good. Can't use my index finger since the finger rolls off. No, finger. Gives me good rolls.
Okay. So who's going to be imitating Alazio? Or sorry, Marzio?
Turth.
The rest of us cast disguise self to look like constables.
Okay. You guys go on up and wait a minute for them to get a nice petition rally going. You guys are watching the group, and it looks like all of the constables and enforcers go inside. It also looks like they snuff all the lights.
They snuck all the what?
They snuff all the lights.
Okay.
I can still see. I think Egada's the only one that can't.
I don't have dark vision.
I can cast Fairy Fire if we need to, but we should probably just go inside before we do anything else.
It's only for a minute.
Alright.
Wait. For now.
Right? So who is?
I want to take one of the candles out of my spell component pouch and cast prestidigitation on it to cause a little magical light say it's not going to be very much, but it might help you a little bit, and give the candle to Egida.
Thank you.
It lasts for an hour.
How long would a mop head burn?
Depends on what you doused it in.
I mean, it's an option. I got 8, I think.
Yeah, you do have 8.
7. I have 7. So, I mean, it's an option. You got fire? I mean,
Do I have fire?
that's how we can get him to see. We'll be fine. We'll be okay. We got this.
Okay. So, who's gonna impersonate Alazio
Marzio.
Everybody's
Well-
in Fazio.
or Marzio?
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
Okay, and you're gonna rally the troops while everyone else sneaks in.
No, the Silver Sabers are rallying the people.
Okay,
We're using Marzio and the constables to just walk in.
Okay.
Like Marzio's title.
so as you get the people riled up with the Silver Sabers, you guys set off on your own. You start watching the patrols, and you notice that people seem to retreat inward. As they retreat inward, all the lights go off and everything else. You only notice one small set of 2 troops, 2 constables, constantly walking around. What do you all do?
I imagine we approach.
Yeah.
Okay. So you approach, and they're all sitting there, and they're all walking, and you see them look kind of in surprise and shock. Well, what have we here then? Identify yourself.
You don't recognize me. Come on.
Takes one look and
Surely,
It is I, Marzio Diffusco.
looking at you and squints a little bit. Go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
Oh no.
That would be a nat 20.
Of course. I guess deception is also an option.
You said what?
Deception's also an option.
Oh, you want to do deception?
Well, you rolled a natural.
but I mean,
so.
a nat 20 is a nat 20.
Okay. He looks and what did you get total?
21.
Oh, I'm sorry. And he looks surprised, looks kind of at attention. Doesn't have very good attention, but he does eventually stand up straight, tuck in his shirt. How can I help you, sir?
We of course just came to talk. I came to talk with Alazio
Oh, of course.
to get the books in line. Of course.
He scrambles around and gets you, starts walking with you. And he says, look, we listened to everything he said. Did everything he asked of us.
I didn't hear you, Zach. What'd you say?
We did everything that he said, did everything he asked of us.
Okay. I still need to go over some of the books with him.
Right, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and move you guys to the governor's mansion. Set of doors in front of you, aside 2 flower beds. The mansion definitely looks rebuilt, simpler, and better than ever.
It's black.
You have to move around because he's darkened the map. Yeah, it's one of those like you got to walk around and discover it.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, you should only be able to see a certain level of things.
Yeah.
So you guys come across a set of doors. The constables sit there and say, true right, and they unlock the doors, and then they back up, bow. We're going to continue on perimeter.
That'd be a good idea. We don't want anybody intruding right now, do we?
No, Roy. Sorry about that.
All right, carry on.
He nods.
And Turth looks at everybody and is like, "We going?
Let's proceed.
All right, going."
Okay. So you guys, some reason can't move something. That's funny.
Yeah, Cookie's probably kicking in.
Boom. All right, you guys crack open the door.
All right.
We're
Shall
gonna
we
take it.
All right, we walk in.
Following your lead, Turth.
Marzio?
Well,
Sure.
I said that out of character.
Okay.
So Turth will walk in as Marzio and be like, "Elazio, it is Marzio. We need to go over some bookkeeping."
Do you have dark vision? Am I correct?
Yes.
Marzio doesn't, though.
Yeah. Remember that not everyone can see what you guys can see. Just
He
side.
doesn't like fully get Marzio's abilities. He just looks like him.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is, like, Turth has dark vision because he's a half orc,
Yes.
and you
Yes,
too.
but I'm also saying that Marzio doesn't have dark vision, so I think it would be wise to act like you don't.
I mean, I'll act
Just to
like I
play the
don't,
part.
just in case if I see someone that's gonna attack us, I'm not gonna get attacked. That makes sense. Like I'm not gonna take the full blunt.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what you
I see what
doing?
you're saying, Landon, I got you.
You're up first, Turth.
All right. Like I said, I walk in and I'd be like, "Lazio, we need to go over some bookkeeping." I'm gonna move in. Sorry, this is so weird. Move in her.
Haley will go in right next to Marzio, keeping formation. I'll act like I'm.
Okay. You guys all go on in. You sit there and you notice that it's incredibly eerie with how quiet it is. Haley, you hear some sounds coming from
Did you see where it came?
Mm-mm.
this area.
Okay, I hear some sounds coming from over there.
Yeah.
I kind of alert to there's somebody over there.
Duly noted.
Well, this certainly wasn't the welcome I expected.
Yeah, where's everybody at? Figured you guys be happy to see me.
I would think Alazio would be excited to hear the news you have from the Elven City above.
Apparently he's not as happy as we thought he would be. I'm going to move that area. because it's where.
Okay. You enter the next section. Looks like it's a fine dining hall, or not dining hall, but a dance hall. There is a single fountain that is going off, the water dripping from it. You look up and you see that it's a statue of Zalaria.
Intact? Out of character?
It is intact.
Kalima will look at it and go, wow, it's a beautiful statue.
Tirth is going to look at Marzio and be like, well, we're in the right place. Alright, I don't see anything.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Yep, it's all totally rebuilt.
Yeah, because we destroyed the last governor's mansion.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to slowly just kind of make my way through just to try to get a feel for the area.
Okay. Start creeping ahead a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
I don't want to break formation, but I want to keep an eye on the tail.
It's eerie at how quiet this place is.
Yeah, and Tirth, being Tirth, but trying to act like Marzio, is like, well, I guess I'm not welcome here, and is actually going to go back towards the door this way.
Okay. You notice the door to your right and the hallway continuing to your left. The two doors are still open from the front. As you turn the corner there, you definitely notice something.
Gentlemen,
This
I'm
is,
just here to talk with Elazio about some bookkeeping and some great information that he needs to know. I wanted to tell him in person.
is that right? We heard a lot. We heard that Marzio was no longer at the world of the living.
Crazy things happen.
He nods.
Standing right in front of you. Surely you must reconsider that information you were given.
Right. We know that you're gonna have a bit of tricks, and he'll go ahead and he'll pull for his gun. Let's get initiative. Wow, good job, boys.
Oof.
You forgot to put Egida on there again.
Egida's right here. I can ditch him and put a new one on there.
There, now it's
He was
there.
on there twice.
We-
Everyone else on there?
Yeah, there for a second, Egida wasn't.
You might
No.
not do it.
Not for us, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Weird. Top of the initiative with Terry. Tirth, what you doing?
He cocks the gun and, we're not here to fight. We're just here to talk to, I was just here to talk to Elazio about what's going on. What's
Go
going
ahead
on
and
with all these books? Why is he spending so much of this money that we need elsewhere?
Go ahead and make me a deception check.
Don't fail
Take
me.
my inspiration.
I'm gonna need it. Trust me. Deception. Yes. It is another nat 20.
Show
First
is.
one, that's 20.
Even when we're not playing Marzio anymore, he's still talking us out of these situations.
Okay. They both look at you and they say, "Oh, we're sorry. We're terribly sorry."
Where did you get your information from, anyways?
Go ahead and make me a perception check
Perception?
for Turth.
Oh, give me a percep. You want a perception check from me?
And Egida. Come to think of it.
Huh?
He's wanting perception checks out of us.
It's a modified 20.
Nice.
Egida, you notice that they don't seem to care that this is Marzio or not.
I got a 20.
Turth would. Yeah, you also get the idea that these men would have no trouble shooting Marzio in the least bit. So you still have an action and a movement.
Turth does?
Yeah.
Turth looks at Egida and kind of just does a, like, nods, like, it doesn't matter.
All right,
Either way.
this is where the charade ends then.
Turth is, you said I still have movement and just an action?
You have movement and your action. Your bonus action is spent trying to convince them this.
Okay. So, Turth is going to say this. It's like, oh, it's great that you thought Marzio was dead. I'm going to tap the hat and be like, I'm supposed to be dead too. And pull off my long sword +1. And I'm going to just straight up attack this guy here.
Okay. Move
I'm
up.
going to get up his grill skillet here. And I'm going to use my great sword +1 and attack him.
That was beautiful.
Roll me, it's a hit.
To hit is a 24 to hit.
You hit.
And to damage, I am two-handing it. Oh, it's a two-handed, never mind.
What do you mean? Yeah.
So this is going to be 2d6 plus 9. It's going to be 21 points of damage for my first attack.
Damn.
A mighty slice. Cleaving him from, like he tries to back up, it still gets him from shoulder to the bottom, but it doesn't kill him.
That's my first. Do I still get another attack, right? With my action.
I believe you
And
do.
that is a 27.
Hey,
yeah.
that hits.
$17 points of damage.
Ugh, brutal. Still hanging on, but not by much.
And I spent my bonus action. And that would be my turn. Because
All right.
I used my movement and I attacked twice. So, yep, can't bonus action.
All right, Egida, what are you doing?
I am going to right here. And I am going to be taking the attack action, but I'm also going to use my Shield Master to use my bonus action to shove.
Okay.
I want to knock the guy Terry's been attacking prone. So I believe that's an opposed strength or athletics.
Yep. 21. 17 plus 4.
26.
No.
18
Boom!
plus 8.
That asshole is on the ground prone.
So I smacked him in the mouth with my shield, and the other one, my attack action, I'm going to grapple.
Opposed grapply do. 17.
23.
You get him too. That asshole's grappled.
And then I'm going to wrestle him down to the ground, basically using the shove action to knock him prone.
Okay, that does take another attack. Do you have another attack?
I have 2 attacks.
Right, you did the
I
shield
used
bonus.
the shield master for the bonus to knock the first one prone, and now I'm in my attack action. I have 2 attacks, so I'm grappling and shoving.
Nice. Make me another opposed athletics roll to shove. You got this.
That is a 16.
Well, it beats my 9 plus 4. 13. He is now prone, and he is now grappled. Oh, all the familiar places.
That's my turn.
This isn't even that character. Okay. He's going to pull a shot and attack with disadvantage against Egida, trying to blow his head off. What do you know? Wow. Disadvantage sucks. Okay, plus 5. So 11 doesn't hit you. So that is Homeboy's action. He does make 2 more attacks, so he'll pull his dagger. That's a disadvantage. 12 doesn't hit you, and a 16 doesn't hit you either. He blows his load. The other guy will stand up from prone and attack God, he hates both of you. He's terrified. He'll go ahead and attack Bartholomew. Rolling the shittiest thing any DM's ever rolled. 6, 6, and a 5.
Do any of those hit me?
A 6, a 9, and a 5. But
Let's see. Your AC is 20.
Yeah, my AC's 20.
I get a plus 5. 11 doesn't hit you. So he pulls the trigger and misses you, and he goes to swing, and he goes to swing, and he goes to swing with his dagger, and just keeps missing you.
I'll give it that he hits me, but when he hits me, it's like punching a wall. Just like hits me right in my pec, and it's just like
it's
like-
somebody going
like
against
somebody
Terry
trying to
Crews.
tickle me.
Very well done, my man. You can gain inspiration.
Somebody going-
Definitely defensive inspiration. Nice job. Okay. So with that being said and done, you're going to hear some scuffling from here. And it's Haley's turn.
It's what?
It's Haley's turn?
Yep.
Alright, so I am going to channel my sorcerer power and use one of my sorcery points to cast Mage Armor on myself as a bonus action.
Bringing your AC to a grand total of 16.
I believe so. AC. Customize plus my Mage Armor is... I usually have it saved. 13 plus my die. Ooh, my die. Where is it? Four. 17 brings it to 18 now.
18.
Yeah. Because my dex went up since I'm an elf now.
Nice. All right. So you cast that with your sorcery point. What else you got?
And then I'm gonna take my staff and kind of slam it on the ground behind us and cast Wall of Fire.
All right. Bring that wall of fire.
I'm
You know
looking
where it
for
is.
it. I'm looking for it.
It'd be a line.
I'm gonna kind of bow it. Concentrate on it bowing. 20-foot sphere. It's not gonna be a sphere. Just think of the
Outside.
the outer edge of it.
Mm.
So I'm gonna kind of block off this here. It's
Do a
just
half
gonna
sphere.
be. Can I do a half sphere?
Do 90 degrees.
Wait, what are you casting?
Wall of fire, but I want to bow it
Okay.
so that it's not just a line. It's gonna like kind of. To rotate it. Sorry.
Ringed wall of 20 feet in diameter is what she's going with. Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of bow it to where it blocks that off. It won't hurt anybody that comes from the direction over here, but it will deal damage over here.
Gotcha. All right, so we're going to count for the edge. All right, what else you got?
That's bonus action, action. That's about all I can do. It's only a foot wide.
Oh, only a foot wide?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it damages people from 10 feet away.
I get what you're saying.
And
All right.
And on this side, it's not going to hurt anybody. But if anybody approaches from this side, they will get hurt.
Gotcha. All right, that's Haley. Don't know why I have Haley on the initiative twice.
Well, now
Kalima.
now she's completely gone.
Yeah. Bye, Haley. Nice turn.
Haley's not there on the initiative sheet?
Nope.
Not
She's
for us.
gone.
Well, fuck her then.
Okay, I have a question. So, with leveling up, I'm now able to do 2 attacks per action. Does that mean I can, like, cast a spell and still, like, smash in somebody's face?
No, it's 2 melee attacks.
Yeah, you get the thing that says 2 attacks means specifically you take the attack action, then you get that many attacks per round.
Okay.
Spells are only one thing. It's not an action economy. It's if you get an attack, you get like a quick ba-ba.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And casting a spell is its own type of action. So there's the cast a spell action and there's the attack action.
cool. I just
I had
No.
to sorcery point to be able to use another spell.
Yeah. I just
No.
wanted to make sure because I've never played a character that could do 2 actions in one
That's
or
okay.
2 attack it. Whatever.
2 attacks. You may only get 1 action
Yes.
ever in D&D.
2
Now,
attacks,
another thing to
1 action. Sorry.
remember is normally in D&D, you can only cast 2 spells a turn if one's a bonus action, and then when you spend for your regular actions, a cantrip. I ignore that rule. I think the action economy is fine.
Okay.
But just bear in mind that most D&D games are not played that way. It has to be, I spend an action to cast a spell, it's a cantrip, and then I have a bonus action, I spend my bonus action spell. Mine's different, but do remember that's the way it usually goes.
Okay.
So with that been done, Kalima, what are you doing?
Well, side note, there is one way to get an additional action, and that's by taking 2 levels of fighter.
Shut up. Just there's no
No, you have to start out as a fighter to be able to
classes always make exceptional rules, etc., etc. What is Kalima doing?
Reading a spell is what I'm doing. I'm trying to make sure that this is going to work the way I want it to. She's going to cast Dancing Lights.
Okay.
Well, actually, she's going to move first. Let's see if I can make this work the way I want it to. Can't. No. Okay, hold on. There we go. So she'd cast one to like go there, and then another probably like here. So that they can see what's coming.
Gotcha.
So
Let me go ahead and illuminate it real quick for you.
And it let's see, it casts. I can't reach my yarn. Each light sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius. And I can actually do up to 4. Okay, yeah. And they'll just kind of look like glowing orbs that are just floating there.
Yeah. You pop them on. Boom, boom. The only other thing... A light must be within 20 feet of another light created by the spell, so you have to daisy chain them.
Oh, okay. Hold on, I can do that. Give me just a second.
So they have to be within 4 squares of each other, but you can definitely use them in 2 separate directions if they're within 20 feet of them.
Yeah. Let me... 10, 15... Okay, so we'll move... If I can remember how to use this stupid program. 20 feet from each other?
Yes. As a bonus action, you can move the lights for 6 feet. A light must be within 20 feet of another created by the spell.
We'll do that for now, because I can actually move them later.
It does say you create up to 4 of them.
Oh yeah, that's true. Hold on.
Or one big one.
Yeah, she's trying to eliminate as much as possible. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 there.
Okay? I'm going to go ahead and mess around with your stuff real quick.
That's fine. The smallest I can do is 10 feet, so.
Just because I can copy and paste them.
Yeah, no, you're good.
But you should have control of them and everything else, and you should be able to see based on everything else.
Sweet. Okay. Yep. And I believe that's her action.
Awesome. You create some beautiful, beautiful light, enabling people to see.
Oh.
Lima is done.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Sorry. For her bonus action, she'll start humming her little song and give bardic inspiration to Egida.
Thank you. That's a D6.
Yes.
A D8, actually.
Ah, it went up since we leveled.
Nice.
Yep.
Rocking that bardic inspiration. All right, kids. Turth, what you doing?
Is this guy still prone?
The one on the right is, the one on the left is not.
Well, Turth is going to rage. After he lights this guy up, sees Egida hit him with the shield, Turth is going to rage.
Rage.
And while he's raging, he is going to say, "You are not going to stop us from getting to Elazio." And he is going to straight up the middle of his body through his skull to kill him.
Ugh,
With a nat 20.
of course. With a nat 20.
3 tonight.
And I thought my finger was going to fuck me over.
Okay. It's just like your text message. Hey, I rolled a 2 and a 1 and a 1. It's like, not in my goddamn game. All right. Guess what?
Well, but after I sent that guy his BT dubs, I rolled a nat 20.
All right.
I need to remember, because with stream I can actually make counters, and so every time like Terry rolls a nat 20 or anybody rolls a nat 20, I can just put in a command and it'll keep track of how many nat 20s we've rolled.
Yep. All right. Crushed them a long time. Go right through them, just like you said.
Do I need damage? I mean...
Yeah.
If you have a counter for the players' nat 20s, you should also have a counter for the DM's nat 1s.
35 total points of damage.
Ooh.
All right, you already described how it was done. It happens just like you say. You literally wanted to go through him with your sword.
Like, I wanted to go, like, I was uppercutting with my sword straight up him, and then I'm going to come around, and I'm going to, since Egida has him grappled, I'm going to slice where Egida's not. Does that make sense? Like, I'm gonna,
Sure.
since Egida probably has him, like, I assume in a chokehold, or...
I have him down on the ground, and I have my knee in the center of his back to pin him to the ground.
Just chop off his feet.
That's what Turth would do. He's going to go from the hip down and try to get rid of his movement.
Fucking-disgusting. Good job, my
He
man.
can't run from us now.
Oh, damn.
He's dead as dreams. I take it you step in, you make your second attack? Question mark.
Yep. Yeah, I'm cutting him at his hit. Like, I'm going to hit him where Egida's not, like I said. So that would be just going straight across where his hip is, like hip to hip.
Go ahead and bring it.
A 24 to hit.
You do? Did you roll with advantage?
Oh,
Because he's pro.
Yeah, hunt for another nat 20.
Burn him up now. Lazio's not going to be easy.
I only hit a 27, so it's not a nat 20.
It's not a 20, but
And
it's still high.
20. That's 20 points of damage to him.
13 to your roll.
Not bad.
Still hit him with the 23.
What else you got?
And that was my bonus action. That's it.
Okay. Egida, it will be your turn, but I want two things to happen. One, let's take a quick smoke because I forgot at the top of the initiative and it's 10:15, so I'm dying for it. Turth, look up the house rules for critical damage and let's see what part of this man you dismember. Egida, get prepared with your turn, and then I will see you guys in 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Egida, it is your turn.
Wait, I wasn't ready. Okay.
This turn. Restating for chat.
Okay, so he fired at me and missed, and then he tried to swing at me with a dagger, I believe, twice.
Yeah.
And it just kind of slid off of my armor like it's kind of slide on steel. And it just kind of looks like a toddler trying to beat up an adult. And I just kind of look at him and I'm like, not your day, is it, friend? Or, not your day, is it, friend? And then I am going to release my grapple.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing on him.
Start swinging away, Meryl. Don't forget your advantage.
As a... yes.
Don't forget you have Bardic Inspiration.
16 hit?
16 does hit.
Okay. That will be 9 points of slashing.
9 points of slashing.
And
Boom.
with my second attack, does a 17 hit? Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
And that will be 10 points of slashing.
Boom. All right. Egida, you start cutting them up with your sword?
Yep, that'll be my turn.
All right. Bad guy's turn. He's going to decide to stand back up. Half his movement. He's going to spend his bonus action to reload. He's going to point at Egida this time. And he's going to fire. 13 doesn't hit your 22 AC, so he wastes his shot. He still has one more attack. He swings at you with his dagger in his offhand. Misses you completely. He also cries for mommy.
It's a bad day for bad guys.
Apparently so. Let me go to a little dynamic lighting thing here. Ship that over. Back to the map layer, because two other gentlemen will show up on the scene and take fire damage. Haley, I believe you're rolling fire
I
damage.
get to roll a lot of fire damage. Woohoo!
So with the house rolls, with the critical roll,
You
with
what?
the critical roll and the house rules,
Yeah,
I roll a 20, right?
yeah, D20.
He got a 3.
Way on the right.
They have to make
Yep.
a dex save, by the way.
Okay. Bartholomew, you cut off his leg when you were cutting him stem to stern. So I apologize. He will be prone again. They make a dex save,
Yes.
left to right.
It's a 16.
Oof.
Okay, one failed, one did not. They have 11 hit points. I love constables. I mean, at least the enforcers have a little bit of butch damage, but the constables.
14 points of damage to one and then 7 to the other. And his speed is halved, I believe.
Okay. One drops dead. Like, they both go out, and you notice that the room that they're leaving from, it looks like there were other constables. Like, maybe they heard Marzio, and they were like, no, we got to save Marzio, and they had a tussle. These guys run forward, and they see the fire, and they just jump in through the brink thinking they're brave. One guy just conflagellates completely and falls down into a set of bones and melted clothing. The other guy comes out and is definitely looking pretty harsh. Tirth cuts off the other guy's leg. And that's my bad guy's turn. Haley, your turn.
Alright, Haley's turn. Woohoo! I am going to. He's almost dead. He's almost dead. One of them is dead, yes. I would like to. I like Fireball, but this is not the time for Fireball.
What?
Says no wizard ever, really, but
Long time for Fireball.
I am going to. Let's have some fun with my sorcerer magic here. And I'm gonna try something and do Chaos Bolt.
Awesome. Don't forget to roll me your d20 for wild magic that we've been forgetting.
Yeah, because the last time I rolled for it, it didn't like do anything for you. Alright, so I make a ranged attack. I don't really wanna-
Against the constable or the enforcer?
It's the first one. The guy that chopped off his leg.
Okay, the enforcer.
Yeah, I'm gonna, finish him off real quick here.
Okay, make me an attack.
Ranged attack. What is my to hit? Boom. $15 to hit.
You hit.
Awesome. And then it's 2d8 plus a d6. And whatever the d6 is what the damage is. And if I get doubles, I get to hit again. Didn't get doubles. 4. It's force damage. 11 points of force damage to him. So,
Is that chaos ball?
my chaos bolt. I
You
love
suck, you roll the d6.
I know. No, I rolled it. And I got a 9 on the wild magic roll, so I do not affect it.
Nice. What else you got, Haley?
So, lob the chaos bolt at him. How's he looking?
He's looking pretty weathered.
Pretty weathered? Alright, I am going to move over here to see if I can see down the hallway.
Okay.
And then that's my turn.
All right. After Haley, Kalima.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the screen for stream. Kalima is gonna take and go after this guy. She'll take out her mace and just give him a good whack.
Bonk.
Bunk?
That's a 21 hit?
Yep.
Oops. If I can keep a hold of my dice. It's gonna be 7 points of damage. No,
Finish
hold on.
him.
Hold on. I'm sorry. That was my dagger. That's not my mace.
It's okay. With your dagger, you would have killed him, so go ahead and finish him.
Okay, that's good because I rolled a 6 on the d6, which would have been 10 points of damage.
Give me a description.
So she'll walk up and, she's got her mace in hand and she just kind of, no, hold on, she's left-handed, I'm sorry. She just breaks it up and hits him over the head.
When you hit, it does that small thing where the blood spurts out the ears before he falls down to the ground. Thud, thud.
We could
And then as my bonus action, I'm gonna move the lights.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm trying to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, so... Okay, I can move them up to 60 feet, so we'll just... we're just gonna stick it right there.
And then move up the other one so they're within 20 feet of it?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, this one's gonna go... like, there. Oh, where'd my other... there it is.
Okay, now they're not within 20 feet of each other if you do that.
Oh, that's right.
Let's be within 20 feet of another light. Yeah.
I thought it was just within another light, not like they all four had to be within 20 feet of each other.
No, they have to be in a chain link of 20 feet, essentially. I know, rules are tough.
Oops. No. It won't let me move that any further. Why is it stuck?
Where do you... Just ping where you want it.
I was gonna try and move it right here.
It has to go through the doorway.
Oh! Stupid doors. She's just gonna move them all down this hallway. I can't. Okay.
No, yeah. Oh, fuck. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll stop moving them.
I keep running into the walls. This is so stupid.
Awesome. All right. I believe it's Turth's turn. You've cut off this poor boy's leg trying to cut him stem to stern. He's within an inch of his life and he's on the ground.
All right, so Turth is going to grapple his leg that is not cut off.
Oof. Yeah?
And I am going to Hulk Loki him. I'm going to swing him from the floor where he's at, and I'm going to slam him on the floor here.
Hulk smash!
Let's do an opposed grapple. You get advantage on it. It's an athletics check. You get advantage on it because you're raging.
Okay. 28.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that beats my measly 15.
Okay.
So that's one attack. You still have another one or two more.
I'm going to swing him over my head and slam him on the ground.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack.
What do you want me to use? Unarmed? Do you want me to...
Yeah, treat it as an unarmed attack. However, we're going to do a different set of damage. It's going to be 2d6 damage. And then an obvious strength check, but let's worry about that in a minute.
All right, so the 2 hit for that would be 27.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me 2d6 worth of damage.
12.
Okay, 12 points of damage to him.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
And as a bonus action... No. Nope, I can't. I didn't have it drawn. I was going to attack with my dagger, my offhand.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
That would be my turn.
Hegeda, you're up. Blood spraying everywhere as Tirth is swinging this guy's body around. Cooking flesh as Kalima splats someone's brains in. They're just cooking.
Gonna move right up next to him and swing on him again.
Bring pain.
He's still prone, right?
He is still prone.
Ooh. I guess an 11 doesn't hit.
11 does not hit.
All right.
You try to guess where he's going to be when he bounces and you swing your sword there, but he doesn't bounce as much as you thought he would.
Yeah. Second attack is good, though. 24 to hit.
That's a hit.
And that will be 7 points of damage.
Finish him.
So as I swipe at him, miscalculating the bounce, on the second one, he's a bit more stationary, and I just come down straight into the center of his back.
Ah. You easily take his life from him. Nice job. Okay. We're going to drop out of combat because all of my bad guys are dead.
Cool. Haley's already down here at the hallway. I'm gonna ready a scorching ray on if somebody attacks me, but I want to go down that hallway and take a peek around the corner down to the left-hand side.
Are you maintaining concentration on your spell?
On your firewall.
Yeah, I don't have to maintain concentration to ready a spell.
Okay. Go ahead and move down the hallway.
I will follow.
Same.
It's 30 feet, so I should be able to get to like. It's also not a. We're not in combat, so. If we're not in combat, then
Fuck.
I want to peek around the corner. I want to move all the way in so I can see into the room.
Okay. You see a room that appears to be a waiting room of some kind.
Cool.
So just as Kalima moves, she's gonna be like in between her dancing light spells and just have them move with her.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd move them first.
I messed things up, but it's fine. That's not at all. Whatever. They just move as she moves. It's fine. Sorry. Apparently tonight's just a struggle night for me.
Right. So as you guys move into the dining room, you see a bunch of Legionnaire troops. They've all been holding their action. The minute you see them, they're going to go ahead and smile and in unison snap their fingers. This area is going to be enveloped by darkness.
Do what? Sorry.
You
Basically,
okay?
Yeah.
finger bleeding again.
Yeah, it's cool.
So as you guys crest across the edge, you notice that there are Legionnaires. As the orbs of light that Kalima has, she sends them towards it. All the troops will sit there, and they've been holding their action. They'll go ahead and snap their fingers, and everything goes black.
Awesome.
And that is going to be where I end today's game.
Of course.
Well, it's 10:43. It's 15 minutes to 11, so it's almost calling time, and
Yeah, no,
we can get into another combat, but is what it is.
that's understandable.
Yay!
That was an emotional thing. Oh my goodness. Alright.
That was. What did you think about Kalima getting possibly neutered as a character and Tirthalmil dying?
I was so upset. Okay, let's go say bye to stream real quick and then we can keep talking. I'm gonna go ahead and do Amanda's spiel since she's taking care of herself, but please do follow us.
Bleeding.
Yeah, please do follow us on Facebook. Also follow us on YouTube and then join our Discord. All of our information is linked down below. I have my own business called Madly Unique. I haven't streamed in a while because I've been focusing on the actual business side of things rather than the streaming side of things. So I have lots of exciting things happening. But yeah, so we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Fuck.
Fuck!